Welcome back to the Watchman Brief. We are live at AmFest 2025. The Phoenix Convention Center in Phoenix, Arizona is the place. R.C. Williams here at the Watchman Action booth on Media Row. So we talked about blessings on top of blessings throughout this entire event. Those blessings continue as Casey Fleming joins me on the Watchman Brief. Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm not going to waste a lot of time here. Casey, quick introduction on you, and then let's get into the book. Let's just get to it.
Straight to the book.
Well, you've got so much to cover. I want to stop talking.
You got it.
Yes.
I speak around the world for many, many years. I run a counterintelligence company, advise Congress, Pentagon, DOJ, FBI, Fortune 500, Fortune 1000, Global 1000. And everybody wants to know the truth when I speak. They want me to write a book, and I never did, but I wrote the book. It's a survival guide. If you understand what has to happen, people are looking for the truth. They want the truth. What's really going on? What is the master plan? What is the government not telling me? What's the world not telling me? And so on. So I basically take the information, the intelligence, the counterintelligence, and I break it apart, and I basically rip the cover off of this facade that everybody's living under. When COVID happened, everybody was looking for the truth. Okay, what's going on? Will somebody please step up, stand up, and tell me what's going on? I did that. I wrote that book. Actually it's not a book. It's a survival guide. So it takes you through COVID. It takes you through all these different things that are happening right now that are part of a master plan that people don't understand. I've known about it for 15 plus years. So it's written for the people. It's written for the citizens. Other folks, smart people have written books in and around the subject, but not to the people that matters most. This war that you're in, your enemy redefined what war is. So it's not about military. It's not about ships, guns, bombs, and troops. It's about you, your family, your living room, your cell phone, all those things. You've heard of COVID, that's biological war, and that's not over yet. Then there's drug war, which is fentanyl, nitazene, xylazine, vaping products, and digital fentanyl, which is TikTok, Instagram. Then you've got cognitive warfare, which is TikTok, Instagram. So a lot of these different things. So after cognitive, you've got cyber war, economic war, education war, culture war, you name it. Then we get into religious war and spiritual war. So you can't understand spiritual war unless you understand how it all manifests during the day, during your day. And that's what I did. I connected the dots through counterintelligence, and then we explode each one of those dots and verify it. There's no way you can refute this information. Nobody can try. 20 of our top experts have endorsed the book. So it's a labor of love. It's a labor for God and freedom, God and country. And we did it for the American people. And by the way, all citizens of the world, everybody who wants to keep freedom, but your freedom is rapidly leaving you. Your rights are being rapidly taken away from you. Wouldn't you like to know how it's being done?
Casey, so I chuckle because we talked about this off air. We talked about the fact that there is a thin veneer of civility in society, and what lies underneath when you rip the cover off is much nastier than people want to even deal with. But I want to take the levels of warfare that you discussed for a moment, and I'd like to dial in on. Let's start with the spiritual war. Can you give, because you mentioned that, it comes down to you and your day. Can you walk us through an example of what that spiritual war and religious war actually looks like on the ground in the average day in the life of a person?
Social media, fentanyl, COVID, anger, like you just said, the thin veneer of anger right below the surface. That's all programmed for us. That's all by design. Our enemy is trying to split us apart when we need to come together. God wants us to be together. Right. Our enemy does not. Spiritual warfare is communism. What's behind all of this? I'm not spoiling the book.
No.
It's all communism. People don't understand it. Marxism, socialism, communism. So most people don't understand that communism is a religion. And it is a religion and there's only one God, and you worship the state with a little g, a God.
Yep.
You worship the state and the head of the state. No other religions, they're all null and void, and they're all preposterous. So, by definition, if you believe in Marxism, socialism, communism, you are anti-God and you are anti-Christ. Okay? So you can't say, I'm a socialist, but I believe in God. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
And if you believe in God, you already made your choice. Okay? So you believe in freedom, you believe in capitalism, because capitalism is the underlying system that provides freedom or guarantees freedom. You get your freedom from God. And it's guaranteed through the Constitution of the United States. But all of that is being taken from you. They're taking rights away from you. Government, media, social media, and all through, those are all the methods that are being used by your enemy. The enemy is the Chinese Communist Party. They are the grand puppeteer over Russia, Iran, Pakistan, North Korea, and the drug cartels. And underneath Iran, you've got the terrorist organizations.
Right.
So you're in World War III today. Nobody will tell you that. I'm telling you that.
Amen.
You're in World War III today. This is what fentanyl, COVID, social media, all these mainstream media putting you through propaganda. We can drill down on any part of this. But the answer is, I wrote the book for God and country. I wrote the book for my brothers, you,
Yes.
and your family, and to get the answers out. And there's no, first of all, you cannot and will not put the book down. So I will not be responsible for a divorce in your life, okay? That's on you. But, and then when you put the book down after you've finished it, you won't stop talking about it. That's it. You know, there are a lot of books out there and so on and so forth. I'm not a book guy, never wanted to write a book, still don't, but I did it for God, country, and my brothers and sisters.
Casey, so this is so good, and I know it can be a hard pill for people to swallow, but that does not mean that they shouldn't be doing it. You know, we joined the Speakers Bureau, the National Speakers Bureau for the John Birch Society recently, and our keynote presentation is The Great Gaslight, and we talk about the psychological of this and what's happening to them. We really wanted people to understand in context what's happening to them and give them these concrete examples. We also talk about the poly crisis. Alex Newman has covered this too in a lot of his work as a journalist. He's the guy that goes to like COP30 and all these other places, Bilderberg, and he'll cover these things, right? So when I think about the gaslighting, and I'm keying on what you said about social media, because let's work there a little bit. In our research, and we get down pretty close because our behavioral marketing component of our business, we deal with this, and we explain things to people like, you know, you have to understand how they're feeding you and how much they're watching. It isn't the one thing you do. It is the aggregate of the 100 things that you do that allows them to trace and then understand how to agitate you down to the pressure that you put on the device in your hand. They can tell your mood. So am I off there, or are we that far down the road that they're able to do it? And then after you answer that, I want to come back to China for a minute.
It's way past that. You are not just correct. You're just tipping the tip of the surface. You have to, your cell phone is never shut off. You may think your cell phone is shut off. Your camera and mic is always on.
Yeah.
And on top of that, same with your computer, your smart TV. They can even reverse your speaker in your smart TV and turn it into a microphone. So you're exactly right. Your smartphone is tracking over 500 data points, and they're sending that not just to the marketing companies, they're sending that to your enemy, which is communist China and Russia and Iran and North Korea, your enemies. So that's why, by the way, you need an electronic bill of rights to protect your rights, your privacy, and your data. And you're like, well, I don't care what's on my phone. What did they care? Well, all of your pictures, which are all geolocated, all of your passwords, all your banking information, everything on that phone, every email. And by the way, that phone is connected to your home Wi-Fi. So it gets everything off your home Wi-Fi. Oh, that's your wife's phone, your kid's phone, your brother's phone. Everybody coming into your house, they can tap into that Wi-Fi because your phone is now compromised and accessing that same network. So this is what the American people need to hear. It's not about the Dallas Cowboys or the San Francisco 49ers. This is where the world is. And I will give you this quote. The world will be won or lost within the next 10 years.
Mm.
It will either be all communist or it will be all free. This is the total war. You're in. You're on the front lines. Whether you know it or not, or like it or not, or you don't want to hear it, you have to hear it. Okay. Right. Yeah. Would you rather know that there's a train coming and it's going to take out your entire family, or you don't?
Right. I was talking to somebody yesterday and I said, we get in this mode and there's an old saying, you may not be looking for a fight, but a fight's looking for you.
Fight's here, baby.
Yeah, and you need to be ready. So let's talk about China for a second. So I was actually one of the crazy people who read China's 2049 plan. And after I read it, much like your book is going to be when I pick that up and read it, I couldn't stop talking about it. And I said, you're shocked by what's happening, but I'm amazed that you're shocked because these people told you exactly what they were going to do. The Sino century, this whole thing, exactly how they were going to overtake you, exactly how you would capitulate. I mean, Khrushchev, the ever famous, you know what? We'll be able to overtake you without ever firing a shot because we're going to take you here. Then we're going to take you here. We're going to get you.
It's 100%.
So talk to me about China. We talked about the 2049 plan. I know obviously the CCP is our primary enemy and they've been positioned to be that because the next century is supposed to be the Sino century. Casey, what do people not understand about China, the CCP and everything else? What don't they understand?
People think China is a friendly country. It is not. It's run by a diabolical, I'm not saying evil. It's above evil. It's a diabolical, dark, disgusting mafia regime. And by the way, the Chinese communists scare the hell out of the Russian communists.
Wow.
The Chinese communists have killed, murdered more of their own people, double than all other communist regimes combined. So the book 2049, it's a good book to get a good feeling. They tell you what they're going to do. There's another book called Unrestricted War, and it was written by two Chinese colonels in 1999. And they tell you even more. They call it Unrestricted War, and that's exactly what I'm telling you. It's that's what I started our conversation with.
Right.
It's all unrestricted war. The overall umbrella is unrestricted war, which means we follow no rules. In other words, we can kill your family right in front of you, no rules.
Right.
Those are your rules. Those are not our rules. World War II had the Geneva Convention. They say, no, there's no rules. So it's no rules. So that means everything's on the table. That means COVID
is on the table.
What about COVID-2 and COVID-3? What about shutting down our grid, power grid, water grid, internet, all these things? All this stuff's on the table. People need to understand what's on the table. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I have a resume that's that thick. Okay, I come from business. But if you understand how I'm wired, if it comes across my desk, I'm the guy that's going to act on it. I'm not the guy to say, what's for dinner? Because the Cowboys are on.
Yeah.
That's not me. I'm like, well, let somebody else handle it. You know what? I've been doing this 15 years and nobody else is handling it. That's why I wrote the book.
Casey, just when you think nothing will surprise you, every day that goes by, there is something new. And while this on the surface doesn't surprise me, I think what has been eye-opening for me in our short time together is just how deep the rabbit holes go. And obviously, as we wrap the conversation, there's never going to be enough time in a setting like this, but there will be multiple conversations that we have on this in longer form so that people really understand. And so that there's also a repository, in addition to your book, that is available for people unedited and in a place where people can't go and rewrite history. Two things that are pretty important, right? Which is why we generally don't edit interviews. And I always say that on the air. What you see is what actually happened, in fairness to everyone who's involved. So with that said, as we wrap, when is the book coming out? How can people find more information about it? How can they find it? How can they contact you if that's what you want? Let's go through the gamut there.
I'm on X, Casey Fleming on X. You can get the book on our website. It's the Red Tsunami. It's available now on pre-order. Don't buy one. Buy one for each member of your family, and buy one for the other folks on the other side of the aisle, because the book's written for them too. You can also get the book on Amazon. It's also in pre-order. It will be printed in late January, and you'll have it in your hot little hands in early February.
Casey, I mean this with all the love in the world when I say this. There are very few people who are willing to get in the fight the way that you did. I have a great respect for that, and we appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to more conversations about this because the truth is the most important thing. And we've already put it all on the line anyway, because Jesus told us you need to count the cost to bear the cross. And it's rare that we find people that do that. So thank you for doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
God
My
bless
pleasure.
you, my friend.
God bless you.
All right. Guys, the Watchman Brief is live. We are at AmFest 2025 on Media Row at the Phoenix Convention Center. We'll be right back.